YouTube, it's Zoe, and today I'm going to do the reader problems tag. And I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I'm still going to do the tag, obviously, because that's how I roll. So let's get started. Question number 1 is you have 20,000 books on your TBR, which I kind of do. How in the world do you decide what to read next? So basically what I do now is I just go up to my bookshelf and I pick what I want to read next. There's not really a rhyme or reason to it, I just pick what I want to read. Question number 2 is you are halfway through a book and you do not like it at all. Do you continue on with the book or do you just quit? And I just quit. I give up. I'm not having that. I'm not going to dedicate more of my life to a terrible book just so that I can finish it and put it on my Goodreads goal. Reading is my hobby, and if I'm not having fun while reading, then it's not a hobby. I'm not having fun, it is a chore. Question number 3 is it is the end of the year and you are far away from completing your Goodreads reading challenge. Will you try to catch up, and if so, how? I am a competitive person by nature, so I will finish that reading challenge if it's the last thing I do. You really don't win anything. Diddly squat. You just win the satisfaction of knowing that you beat the challenge. So I will read children's books. I will read graphic novels, the shortest books that I can find. Question number 4 is the covers of a series that you love do not match. How do you cope? Well, it used to bother me a lot. I used to be very, very particular about every book that I bought. Like, all the series had to match. They all had to be the same, either hardcover or paperback. They all had to have the same cover, like the same cover style. They all had to be cohesive. But then one day, I woke up and realized that it doesn't really matter. It just matters that I can read the words in the books. Question number 5 is everyone and their mother loves a book that you really don't like. Who do you share your feelings with? Well, I share my feelings on Goodreads when I rate the book that I just read, and also on BookTube when I do my monthly wrap-ups. A lot of people comment back and they say that they felt the same way about books, and usually when I have a negative review and a lot of people liked the book, there are people who didn't like the book as well. And then they're like, oh, I didn't think anyone else didn't like the book, and we bond. Question number 6 is you are reading a book and you are about to cry in public. How do you deal? I will cry in public. I am a crier. I cry over everything. I can cry on demand. Tears. Tears and I, we're like best friends. I will cry if something's happy. I will cry if something's like heartfelt and romantic. I will cry when bad things are happening. I will cry if it's sad, obviously, just all the time. So you just have to let the tears fall and wipe away, really incognito-like. Question number 7 is a sequel to a book that you loved, just came out, but you really don't remember what happened in the first book. Will you reread the first book? Will you read a synopsis? Will you just skip the second book? Or will you just cry out in frustration? I try to read a synopsis of the first book. A good site is recaptains.blogspot.com. I think that's a site. They have great synopses of books in series. I will sometimes reread the first book, but that's only if I absolutely loved the first book and it's been like a year or so since I read it. That's what happened with Divergent by Veronica Roth. Question number 8 is you do not want anyone borrowing your books. How do you politely tell them to back away from the bookshelf? I just tell them that, like, nah, you can't. Sorry. Find the library. Borrow from them. Question number 9 is reading ADD. You have picked up 5 books in the past month and just put them down. You were in a total reading slump. How do you get out of it? You just gotta let it happen. You can't force yourself to read. You just have to embrace the Netflix, embrace the YouTube. Focus on something else, focus on schoolwork. It will come. You will find like something that will spark your interest in books again. What happened with me is I was watching Gilmore Girls and Rory's always reading and I'm like, oh, remember when I used to read? That was a great time. And then I go and I find a book that I want to read and I read it. I usually start with smaller books or books that I've heard a lot of praise about, and then it really gets me into it. Question number 10 is, there are so many new books coming out that you are dying to read. How many do you end up buying? I will buy all of them. If I really, really want to read it, I will buy it because I will want it on my bookshelf to look pretty and to see forevermore. I have a job, so I will use the money to buy some books. Question number 11 is, after you buy those new books that you were dying to read, how long do they usually stay on your bookshelf until you end up reading them? It depends on every single book. If I was absolutely dying to read that book, if I couldn't sleep until I got that book in my hands, I will usually stop what I'm reading at the moment so that I can just devour that book right then and there. But if I was only mildly interested in the book, if I heard some praise, and I'm like, oh, that'd be nice to have that book on my bookshelf, if it was like an auto-buy from an author that I generally like, it could sit on this bookshelf for eternity. So that was the reader problems tag. I hope you enjoyed. Please request any videos you'd like me to make in the future down below. Also, remember to follow me on Goodreads, Twitter, and Instagram. All of those, I will keep you updated on what I'm reading at the moment. And have a great day. I'll talk to you all later. Bye!